We have launched a brand new legal initiative across the country representing parents, as we said yesterday, for free. And we're able to say that because we're a nonprofit organization supported by your tax-deductible donations. So we can go out to the country with all these school closings, with schools that are open 1 or 2 days a week, with special needs students who need special programming, with students in tough financial situations. There's an example even out of Oregon. I mean, get how, and this is just to me so absurd, almost to the point of evil, that the governor of Oregon, who's of course a Democrat, Governor Kate Brown, issued an order that they're closing schools. So she closed all of the charter schools as well. But in the order to close all of the charter schools for in-person class, you know what they added? That those charter schools also had to close all virtual learning.
What we really need to see is we need robust virtual learning options. And instead of providing robust options, we have, for instance, in the state of Oregon, a decision by the governor via the Board of Education to shut down virtual public charter schools in order to protect unions.
Out of the $620 billion of public spending that is spent on K through 12 education, about $68 billion comes from the federal government. And I won't get into all of the subcategories here, but the one that we're primarily focusing on for now, Jordan, is $23 billion that comes through Title I. Basically, those federal dollars come down to a local jurisdiction with a lot of federal strings attached. And here's what we're saying, Jordan. The way that those dollars were spent pre-pandemic probably is not the way they should be spent post-pandemic. So we would like the federal government to give the local jurisdictions a lot more flexibility.
One of the issues we're looking at is whether or not the schools are going to have to take the funding they already receive, get creative with it, and almost use it like a voucher, like school choice, to the parents so that they can figure out if they're going to join some kind of homeschooling group or do the schooling at home. If they need to bring in child care at home or somewhere else that is available.
But the ACLJ, we are prepared to first encourage local school boards to ensure that there is indeed educational equality of opportunity under the law. And so if they're unwilling to do so, however, then we are prepared to take legal action on behalf of appropriate parents and children. Many bureaucrats, particularly at the local level, they are inclined not to comply with their own state's requirements, in part because they're lazy, but also in part because many of them are co-opted by teachers' unions. And that's why we need the hammer, at least potentially, of litigation to provide them with an incentive to comply with their obligations, which already exist.
It is not enough for them to say what they will not allow, what they're going to shut down, what will be prohibited. Jordan, they have an obligation, they have a responsibility, they have a mandate as the entity responsible for those tax dollars to say what the path forward is. How are they going to provide access to education? And Jordan, the thing here is these tax dollars continue to flow. Local, state, and federal, they all continue to flow. That is why even before this pandemic, Jordan, we were in favor of school choice. We were in favor of school vouchers. We think that more dollars, whether they're derived on the local level, the state level, or the federal level, should follow the student.
You know what's sickening here to me, as we've said time and time again? Politicians, teachers' unions, and bureaucrats and administrators are putting themselves and politics in front of children. They're making decisions based on what's best for their politics, they think. I can't imagine shutting a bunch of kids' schools down, but maybe they think shutting down those charter schools, well, that they need those teachers' unions' endorsements, and those teachers' unions don't like those charter schools, so we'll just shut them down. But not only are we going to shut them down in person, we won't even allow them to operate virtually.